Hello and welcome back to the Spero Car Project. I wanted to give you an update because frankly it's been a long time since I've made a video of this car. I wanted you all to know I haven't given up on it. It looks like I haven't done very much, and truth be told, I haven't done a lot. But I did want to update you on what I've discovered about working with foam. And I really have only spent about 15 hours on this car since the last time I made a video. I did have an entire summer, but I spent it with my family, doing other things. My kids are only this age once, but this car can sit here for as long as it needs to. So you will notice, kind of got a nice little angle going here. I don't know if you can see it, but my hope was that I would get this fender to bulge up and then come down. And so I managed to do that. I do have a lot of holes I need to fill. What I'm planning to do is use either drywall compound, like spackling mud. I can't think of the word I want to use for that right now, to fill in some of these holes. I tried a little bit earlier and it works pretty good and it's cheap. I also have some pottery clay that I could use to kind of fill in those holes too. So at the moment, if you look straight down the side of the car, it's a little bit too wide right here. So I need to cut that back a bit to get the shape that I want. And again, it's been really handy having this model close by so that I can compare it as I'm working on the car and get the angles right, get the thicknesses correct. I haven't really done much on the bottom part of the car along the rocker panels just yet. It's hard to give you a really good idea of what it looks like from a distance. And even though I wish I'd have had more time to spend on it this summer, I just didn't, and that's okay. I did learn a lot about working with the foam, what to do, what not to do. I found a great deal on the foam at Lowe's. I'm not sponsored by Lowe's, I wish I was, but they had a fantastic deal, and I think it was, if you buy more than 12 cans, you get a contractor discount, so 10% extra off. Not real happy with the rear end at the moment, it's just thick, and so that needs to be chopped down quite a bit. It's looking pretty good right here, and I'll show you what the tail, if you haven't seen the project before and you're not sure what I'm doing with it, that's what the back end will look like when it's done. I have a tail light, which is just a second, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so at a junkyard I took these tail lights off of a Jeep, and of course they originally go like this, but I'm going to flip them and put them on the other side of the car, and they're going to go right about here. It's kind of hard to show you with one hand, but if you can imagine, I'm going for kind of a Murcielago look, so you can kind of see on the model, they'll sit about like that, right there. The tail end is giving me a little bit of grief. I just started foaming it up so I could start carving, and then it got really cold, so I haven't had a chance to do that. That's what the other side of the car looks like. I have, if you haven't watched any of the other videos, I have lowered it and widened it. That's it. So yeah, that's the update. The foam works pretty good. Pretty good. You just do, one can at a time is what I've been doing, and then I let it harden, and then I just use a dollar store knife to carve it. Nice serrated edge. The doors will open, believe it or not. So at the moment, it opens and closes pretty good. Still trying to figure out what to do with the front here. If you notice on the model, it's got a couple of cutouts right there in the hood. I really like that part of it. I think it looks neat. This part is not, okay, so the car's not actually going to have that big gouge. That was just my way of seeing how much product I need to put on the hood to get it to come out like the model, okay? So I do that once in a while to see if the foam is the right depth or not. Yeah, that's it. I mean, feel free to ask questions. Look, you can troll if you want and say, what a piece of junk, whatever. I don't have that much money into it. The car was very cheap because the engine needs replacing. And so I've spent as much on foam probably as I did the car. The rims were twice the price of the car. And the Raceland struts, or coilovers, sorry, They were about the same price as the rims, so that's about it. I'm not doing anything with it all winter, other than I do plan to take my model inside. I have more clay. I'll be using the clay to shape it up. I really want to hone the front and the rear so that come springtime, I'll know exactly what I want it to look like, because I've only really focused on the side view so far. And that's it. Yep, so if you've been following the Spero project, I mean, if you're curious, I also plasti dipped my other Celica, so you can look at that video if you'd like, but I didn't really show you how I did it. I just kind of walked around the car. So stay tuned. Don't expect anything about the car until next spring. And if I have enough time to spend on it, she'll be done in a year or two. So just stay tuned.